Good morning, boys and girls. Welcome to day 4, week 5 of social studies. Today for social studies, we are going to be learning about the people of the Southwest region. So, if you open up your packet, you should see this page here. And what I would like you to do is just rip out this page, because that way as we read today, we can fill in the answers on this page so we can have this sitting beside our reading. So you can rip it out and then set it aside. And as I read you the people of the Southwest today, we will fill in the answers together. Although Chayo Canyon is quiet now, many people lived there over 1,000 years ago. Who were these people? Where did they go? Long ago, the people called the ancestral Pueblo lived in Chayo Canyon. Pueblo is the Spanish word for village, and the Spanish use it to describe both the people and their homes. The ancestral Pueblo built their homes along the steep sides of cliffs. They were built of adobe, a sun-baked clay brick. The Pueblo in Chayo Canyon was once the center of trade and culture for the ancestral Pueblo. It was home to about 1,000 people. About 700 years ago, the ancestral Pueblo left behind their cliff buildings, pueblos, and the beautiful pottery that they made. They settled in other parts of the southwest. Today, Zuni, Hopi, and other Pueblo are the descendants of the ancestral Pueblo. Some Pueblo people still live in pueblos today. The people of Acoma Pueblo in the northwest, New Mexico, say that people have lived there for more than 700 years. That makes it the oldest continuously lived in community in North America. The Navajo. Between 500 and 1,000 years ago, the Navajo came to the southwest from farther north. At first, the Navajo lived by hunting and growing corn. The Spanish arrived in the 1500s and brought sheep to the region. The Navajo soon learned how to raise large herds of sheep. Today, many Native Americans of the Southwest live on reservations. In fact, the Navajo Reservation is the largest reservation in the United States. It covers parts of 3 states. Okay, so now we're going to take our sheet, and the first one that we have to fill in is the Acoma Pueblo and the Navajo. So we have to figure out why they came. Okay, so we know that they came 500 to 1,000 years ago, but we need to fill in why. So let's first look for the Acoma Pueblo. So if I look in my story, or in my reading here, the Acoma Pueblo, and it talks about it up here, they came for trade and culture. Okay, so if I go back to my sheet here, I'm going to write trade and culture. Okay, so now I'm looking for the Navajo people and why they came and what they did once they arrived here. Okay, so here it talks about the Navajo, and they lived by hunting and growing corn. And then after some other Spanish arrived, they learned how to raise sheep. Okay, so I'm going to add those 3 things here. So hunting, growing corn, and raising sheep. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to the next page in my reading on page 248. And it looks like I'm missing the who, and I need to figure out the who. So be looking for something similar to heard stories of gold and went there to claim their prize of gold. So we're trying to figure out who went there to claim their prize of gold. I'm going to turn my page in my packet. The first Europeans to explore the Southwest were the Spanish. Some, like Francisco de Coronado, came looking for gold. He came in 1540 with nearly 300 soldiers. The Spanish had heard stories of 7 cities of gold and were eager to claim such a prize. Not surprisingly, wherever they went, the Native Americans said that gold could be found far away to the north or east. The gold was never nearby. Coronado trekked as far as Kansas before he gave up. He found no gold, but he claimed many lands for Spain. Okay, so now if I go back to my sheet here, who heard stories of gold and went there to claim their prize? Well, overall, the Spanish did, but specifically Francisco de Coronado. So I'm going to write that on my sheet here. Okay. And then he came in 1540. So I'm going to add that over here under my when he came. Okay, so next I'm still going to be learning about the Spanish and why else they came. Before the Pilgrims landed on Plymouth Rock, the Spanish had already built several settlements in the Southwest. One of their earliest settlements, Santa Fe, was founded in 1607 in an area that would become New Mexico. It was one of the first European settlements in the United States. The Spanish would build many more settlements in the Southwest. Signs of Spanish and Mexican heritage can still be seen in the Southwest. In some locations, such as San Antonio, Texas, and Santa Fe, New Mexico, the city names are Spanish. Many buildings in the Southwest were built using Spanish styles. Today, more than 1 out of every 4 people in the Southwest has either Spanish or Mexican heritage. Other settlers. Once the area became part of the United States, other settlers hurried to get there. Some came looking for silver, copper, and gold. Others came to farm or raise cattle and sheep. Okay, so here, Spanish. Why did they come? Well, they came to build some settlements. So I'm going to write that here. And then they also came looking for silver, copper, gold. So I'm going to underline that. Or they came to raise cattle and sheep. So build settlements. And then I'm also going to add find silver, copper, or gold, and raise cattle or sheep. Okay. And they came in around the 1600s, we'll say. So we'll add that here. 1600s. So next, when we're looking on page 250, we are looking at who came in the early 1900s. So I'm going to turn my page. So people of the Southwest today. For many years, the Southwest had fewest people of any region. In the early 1900s, that might be a clue, artists began coming to Arizona and New Mexico. They came because of the region's natural beauty. Today, the cities of Santa Fe and Taos in New Mexico are famous as art centers for art. Artists there are often inspired by the art of the region's Native Americans. So, who came in the early 1900s? Well, artists came. And why did the artists come? Well, it says they began coming to Arizona and New Mexico. They came because of the region's natural beauty. So that's what I'm going to write here for why they came. So they came for the region's natural beauty. Okay. So next on page 250, I'm looking for someone who built the first blank so it allowed more people to live in a warm climate year-round. And that happened in 1911. So I'm going to try to figure out who came and what did they build. The development of the automobile and highways and roads that followed made it easier for people to travel across the Southwest. Roads also made it easier to ship goods. By 1911, Phoenix, Arizona had its first paved street. Another reason people moved to the Southwest was air conditioning. In 1911, Willis Carrier built the first air conditioner. Within 20 years, many buildings in the Southwest were cooled by the air conditioning. This invention made it possible for people to live year-round in the warm southwestern climate. So who built the first air conditioner? Well, if I look, it says Willis Carrier. So that's what I'm going to write. Okay, and he built the first air conditioner. Oops. ER. Okay, so now I just have one box left to fill in. It's talking about other immigrants that moved from where and why they're attracted to the natural beauty and other things. So I'm going to keep reading. Population increases. People are still moving to the Southwest. Phoenix, Arizona is the fastest growing city in the nation. Many newcomers to the region are immigrants from other countries such as Mexico and Honduras. Other newcomers from different regions of the United States. Many older Americans retire to the Southwest. Tourists visit the Southwest too. They are attracted by the natural beauty, the area's history and culture, and the mild winter climate. So now if I look here, it says many people are moving to the Southwest, such as immigrants from other countries, such as blank and blank. So who were those immigrants? What countries did they come from? Well, if I look here, it says many newcomers to the region are immigrants from other countries, such as Mexico and Honduras. So that's what I'm going to write here. Mexico and Honduras. Okay, then it says many are older Americans who blank to the Southwest. So if I look here, it says many older Americans retire in the Southwest. So I'm going to add that here. Who retire to the Southwest. There are also many blank who visit. Here, tourists. Okay, so I'm going to write tourists here. Okay, so now I need to figure out, it says they are all attracted to natural beauty, blank, blank, and the mild blank, blank. Well, if I continue reading in this exact paragraph where I found tourists up at the top here, it says they are attracted by natural beauty, the area's history and culture, and the mild winter climate. Well, guess what? That's what's going to go in my blanks down here. So they're attracted to the natural beauty, the area's history and culture. So I'm going to write area's history and culture. And then it says the mild blank, the mild winter climate. So now that you have all of this filled in, you can take a picture of your completed work and you can turn it in to Seesaw.